How are you doing? Now, I want you to think about when's the last time you asked someone else this question? And when's the last time someone else asked you this question? Well, I'm a peer support leader at my school, and this means that it's my role to check in with my classmates and see how they're doing. So I ask this question a lot. Normally, I get two kinds of replies. The first is the typical 1 to 3 word reply, some variation of I'm fine or I'm stressed. And the second is when they elaborate from the get-go. Think about how you could continue these conversations, because ultimately what you say will determine how useful they can be. At the start of the year, talking to people felt like something I had to do, like a job almost. It felt like a chore to have to check up on people who I didn't necessarily care that much about when I wasn't doing too great either. So I didn't put much effort in. And well, people reacted to what I gave them. More and more conversations defaulted to shallow topics, and although I did talk to and check up on people, neither of us were really better off for it. Soon, even friendships which I already had started to crumble. The change was gradual, so I didn't really register that it was happening, until I had a hard day and wanted to talk to someone. I was scrolling through my contacts and realized that there was no one who I thought would want to listen. I hadn't put in the effort to build a foundation for meaningful conversations. It really was a wake-up call that, well, I needed to do more. When you try to engage with someone but they don't engage back, it's daunting, to say the least. And to be honest, I didn't know how to continue from there. Remember the two kinds of replies? Take either one and reply with a one-word answer, and that conversation will most likely end there. Imagine pouring your heart out to someone, only to get a one-word reply like same or okay. Would you feel like continuing that conversation or even talking to that person in the future? Well, I wouldn't. I mean, why would I talk to someone who doesn't seem like they care or makes it seem like I'm bothering them? That's why it's important to empathize when people talk to you and voice out your support. There's no point in just thinking, oh wow, that must be hard, or I've been struggling with that too, because, well, they can't read your mind. Even if it's not offering advice, it's still helpful. It affirms how they're feeling and even shows that they're not alone in their struggles. It helps to create a safe space where people can sound out how they're really feeling without having to sugarcoat or push down a part of themselves. When you share your struggles, you're being vulnerable, and vulnerability builds stronger connections by showing them your trust. Vulnerability builds a foundation for further conversations by providing meaningful and important topics to discuss and showing that it's okay to share and be open. Let me share a story where I think this applied. To go home from school, I take the bus, and it's normally empty enough for me to sit by myself. But once it was so crowded that my only option was to sit next to someone else. That day, I had slept for less than 4 hours, and the last thing that I wanted to do was talk to someone. I vaguely knew them and then see them around, but I wouldn't say we were friends at all. But that day, we got to talking and sharing, and most importantly, trying to understand each other. We talked about our subjects and homework, about how stressed we were for the exams, about what we thought this stress was made worse by, and about what we thought we could do to fix it. And we're still pretty close today. If we had just made small talk about the weather, or if it had been a one-sided conversation, there would be no foundation for us to keep talking, or a desire to keep the friendship alive. It would have been far less helpful or beneficial to the both of us. When we talk about vulnerability, we look at it from the point of view that it's something negative, something we should avoid. If you're vulnerable, you're fragile, you're weak, you're powerless. We're so scared of opening up that we let what could have been slip away. It's time to change our point of view on vulnerability. It's time to use it to our advantage and build a culture where we can empathize with and understand each other. Over the course of the year, I've been able to see a change in how much people are willing to talk to me and how open they're willing to be. I honestly don't feel like it's something I'm stuck doing anymore, but more of something that I'm able to do. But the thing is, no matter how good or bad of a job I do, it's impossible for me to reach everyone. I might have the greatest conversation ever with someone, but if the empathy ends there still won't be a change in culture. But if the person I'm talking to reaches out to their friends, and their friends in turn reach out to theirs, and so on, think about the reach that could have. Imagine being able to cultivate this culture of empathy, to keep spreading it. Imagine being able to normalize having vulnerable conversations, being able to focus on support and understanding. I know this won't lead to us being able to churn out solutions for all the world's problems, but it will help us feel a lot less alone when thinking about them. It all starts with that one question. So, I might have asked you how you are, but my challenge is for you to ask someone else.